Now, WTVA Sports with Andy Lee.
Dan Mullen coached Mississippi State for 9 seasons. Less than a year after bolting for Florida, Mullen returned to Davis-Wade Stadium as the enemy. In a weird twist, Mullen was in his old locker room tonight as the Bulldogs have a new locker room this season. All right, here we go. Bulldogs take the field all week. Coach Joe Moorhead said MSU needed to play with emotion without being emotional as Dan Mullen takes the field as the visitor for the first time. This was a defensive battle. First quarter, Gary Green sacks Felipe Franks. On the night, MSU's second winningest coach returns. The school honored its winningest, Jackie Sherrill. Still a ton of love for Jackie at Davis-Wade Stadium. He gets the cowbell salute. Back to the game, yards hard to come by. Eris Williams hurdles for a first down. That set up the game's first points, a Jace Christman 34-yard field goal. MSU led 6-3 at the break. Now into the second half, opening drive of the third quarter. Felipe Franks, his pass is tipped and picked off by Cam Dantzler. Dantzler returns it to midfield, and the fans are jacked. The Bulldogs would try and go for the jugular following the turnover. First play after the pick, Osiris Mitchell has a step on the floor to D, but he can't haul in Nick Fitzgerald's pass. The Bulldogs miss an opportunity. They'd have to punt. Ensuing Gators possession, Florida gets tricky. Halfback pass. Kadarius Toney hits Morrill Stevens for 6. That proved to be the difference. Florida wins 13-6. WTVA Sports Director Jim Holder is in Starkville and joins us now live. Jim.
Blaney was about as loud as you could ever get here at Davis-Wade Stadium. We've heard some loud crowds here, but it was certainly loud in pregame and throughout most of this game. But as you know, a lot of these Mississippi State fans, they went home disappointed tonight as Florida gets the win at 13-6. You talked about Dan Mullen being in his old locker room. He was in his old room where he does his news conference as well. He spoke after the game as well as Joe Moorhead, and here are those comments from both coaches.
Boy, I mean, it was great. It was kind of like Bizarro World, right? Isn't that like, it's like a Seinfeld, like, you know, like the Bizarro, like there's the Bizarro George and the Bizarro, right, in that episode. Because, you know, I mean, I was in the same locker I've been in for 9 years. They flipped the locker rooms, just like I'm in here. I'm like, wow, and, you know, warming up on the same side of the field. The only thing I had to make sure is I took a right instead of a left.
It was a great atmosphere. Thought they provided great home field advantage for us, but definitely disappointed in the loss. Thought for the second week in a row we were unable to get anything going offensively in the second half.
And Mississippi State is now 0-2 in the SEC, second straight loss. Where do they go from here? We're going to talk more about that on Sunday. But again, the final, Florida wins at 13-6. Reporting live in Starkville, Jim Holder, WTVA 9 Sports. Andy, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Ole Miss and LSU meeting for the 107th time tonight in Baton Rouge. Rebels looking for their first win at Tiger Stadium since 2008. Late kickoff in Death Valley. They're now in the third quarter. LSU leads 28-6. A.J. Brown leads the Rebels with 53 receiving yards. Number 1, Alabama played a pick-your-score game against the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. Opening drive for the Crimson Tide, Josh Jacobs, 9-yard touchdown run, 7-0 Alabama. Next Crimson Tide possession, Tua to Henry Ruggs III from 13 yards out, 14-0 Crimson Tide. Tua, a perfect 8 for 8 for 128 yards and 2 TDs in only one half of action. After Louisiana goes 3 and out, Jalen Waddle takes a punt 63 yards to the house. Bama rolls 56-10. By the way, Jalen Hurts played in his 5th game, meaning Hurts is no longer eligible to redshirt.
Well, I was really pleased with the way our team came out and played today. I think that we've been working on having an identity as a team, that playing a little more physical, being a little more aggressive, being able to have better balance on offense, and I thought we, did a good job of that.
Southern Miss was at Auburn. History buffs might remember the Golden Eagles beat the Tigers in Auburn in 1990 and 91. Auburn strikes first late in the first quarter. Jarrett Stidham hits Seth Williams on a 46-yard bomb. 7-0 Auburn after 1. Former Oxford Charger Jack Abraham showed a lot of moxie at Jordan-Hare. Abraham connects with Tim Jones for a first down, led to a USM field goal. Lengthy weather delay in this one. Auburn wins 24-13. Abraham finishes with 215 yards and a touchdown. That's sports. We're back after this.